My name is Sunita Naredi. I'm a practicing doctor at Apollo Hospitals, Hyderabad, and I'm here to talk about my father. My father, Mr. Y.S. Vivekananda Reddy, is probably known to a lot of people in this room. There may be a few people who are not familiar with who he is. My father was multiple things to multiple people. He was loved by his parents, loved by his siblings. He had 4 brothers and 1 sister, one of them being Dr. Y.S. Rajshekhar Reddy, who was the ex-Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. He had a huge family. As you can see here, this is a tiny portion of his extended family. We have a family tree that goes on to over 700 people, so that's a huge family by most regards. He had a lot of varied interests. He played tennis, he loved hockey, he loved to travel, but most of his life was spent in the service to the people around him. He always used to say, Manava Seve Madhava Seva, which means service to humanity is service to God. And that's how he brought me up, at least. The reason why we are here today is because, as most of you know, he was murdered. He was murdered 2 years ago. 2 years is a long time, and we have not been able to find out who had killed him. Most of the people who knew him as a mild-hearted person, somebody who is very easily approachable, and if you needed something, anybody and everybody could approach him, and he would go out of his way to help people. He served the people in various capacities: as a Panchayat Samiti president, as a member of Legislative Assembly, Lions Club governor, member of Parliament, member of Legislative Council, and so on. He also was briefly a minister in the state of Andhra Pradesh. The place that he came from, the place that I grew up, went to my hometown most of the time in holidays, and I used to hear from time to time that people were being killed because of factions and so on. That was a fairly common phenomenon that I used to hear about as a child growing up. And some of those evidences were recovered even as recently as 2 years ago. The bombs that were planted probably about 20 years ago. Okay. But over the years, things had changed in my place. There was a lot of improvement. My father and my uncle, Dr. YSR, both of them worked tremendously to improve the area. Not just the area, pretty much throughout the state eventually. There were a lot of new colleges, the degree college, polytechnic college, JNTU, name it. Agriculture improved by leaps and bounds thanks to a lot of the irrigation systems that were developed. The roads had become significantly better. There were industries that came on. With all these, the culture also, there was a significant shift. People were no longer violent, at least that's what I believed. The economy improved, people improved. But after my father died, when I was talking to one of the senior officials trying to find out what exactly happened, one of the comments I heard was that this kind of things is fairly common in Kadapa and Kurnool. So why are you surprised? And that gave me like a shocker. I was initially very angry. How can people talk like that? This is not the culture of the place that I grew up in. But then I realized there is truth to that. Otherwise my father wouldn't have succumbed to such a gruesome killing. I mean, this is what was left of him. A 68-year-old man who was all alone in his house, who believed that he did not need any security and who never traveled alone with around with hordes of people around him, who traveled by himself most of the time, who was living alone at home that particular day, like most of the days, and somebody comes home, does such heinous things, an elderly person who is defenseless. I mean, this is just not acceptable. The one thing that I realized is that people cannot get away with this kind of things. I also realized that if somebody like my father gets killed in such a way and can get away with it, then I'm afraid that this kind of phenomenon will come back again and again. When children make mistakes, we reprimand them. And so similarly, if something like this happens and you don't find the culprit, that will only encourage that kind of a behavior. So many people advise me, you're a doctor, you have a bright career, you have 2 children, and you're responsible for them. Why don't you take care of them? The person who's gone is gone. Let it go. You fighting this is affecting not just you but your children as well. But I wonder, I ask myself, what is the right thing to do? I keep wondering myself, what is right? I really don't have an answer to what is the answer to that question. Is my responsibility only to take care of my children and be selfish towards what is left? Or should I, however difficult it is, whatever be the ordeal, should I try to find the culprit, because that will potentially help not the community. No, the judge in his judgment had told, while the murderers make merry, the hapless victims weep. I think he understood what we as a family are going through. I'm not a politician, neither am I an activist. But I felt that killing someone is not right. It is not acceptable and it should not be encouraged. If a murder of somebody of a stature of his stature, who was brother to the ex-Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, who is uncle to the current Chief Minister, is not solved and the killers can get by, just think about what can happen to an ordinary person. We need to find a solution. It has been over 2 years since the murder. How long do we wait for justice? Our justice system says that justice delayed is justice denied. Is this a society that we want? I would like to believe that if we solve crimes, we can set an example so that such events will not happen. I would urge each one of you and all the media friends to help in fight against crime and injustice for a better society.